Austin, of course, is an art hub, and our next guest is a great example of local talent. Anne Shackelford is a mixed media artist whose practice is connected with somatic sound experiences that she offers to the public. She's here to help connect some of those dots for us. Anne, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. You and I talked off camera. Okay, I'm going to ask you about your background as an artist. I know that's basically your whole life story. But if you wouldn't mind telling our audience a little bit about how you got inspired by art and then how you gravitated towards mixed media being kind of your media of choice.
There was so much that led up to it, but just as a child being obsessed with fairy tales and magic and costume design, I would pour through books and I would just be gravitating towards all the beautiful princess costumes. And then I had to make them in any way that I could. And then I started getting into fire dancing, and you needed costumes for that. So I started building out costumes for the fire dancing. And then I got into headdress design and jewelry design.
Whoa.
And then I got into body painting, and then that went to like acrylic on canvas, and then I got into resin, and then I got into working with wood, and now I sort of do it all together.
Wow. I mean, it's circuitous, but there's like a through line here of like the fantasy, the art, the, being drawn to something imaginative that's been happening. Do you feel like that's accurate?
Yes. Yes, definitely. I want to create everything that I just am inspired by, and I'm inspired by so much. So it's hard to kind of like narrow down and like, okay, I'm going to put my time into this today because this is what I have to. Yeah, it's sometimes very hard.
With your creative brain, I bet. Yeah, but now you focus on a lot of mixed media pieces, which is good because it still has a little bit of like pieces and parts from different things.
Yes, exactly.
But describe for us, for folks who are watching at home, what an example of one of your mixed media pieces would look like.
So right now, I've taken what I've learned from working with resin for the last 5 years and what I've learned with working with wood. And so I salvage wood from various mills around Austin.
Oh, that's cool.
And in Durango, because I have the cabin in Durango. And then I take this wood and prep it and sand it and get it all looking pretty. And then I take a MDF board and I connect the two.
What's an MDF board?
MDF. So like Home Depot, and it's just like a board.
Okay.
And then I can cut it kind of like a puzzle piece.
Okay, like plywood or something like that.
Yeah. And then it fits the live edge line of the wood that I've salvaged. That's like either mesquite or aspen or pecan. And then so I build it together so that it's like a seamless wall art piece. And then I can start the pyrography, which is the wood burning. And then that's taken, like, I've been wood burning now for about 1.5 years, and it's just leveled up so much, like the detail that I put into it. So now, instead of it taking me maybe like 2 to 3 weeks to create a piece, it takes me 2 to 3 months to finish a piece. Yeah. So the piece that I think you're going to talk about here in a moment is one that I just finished. There's a sister piece that I'm working on right now that I'm really excited about, and they're gonna look really cool together.
Well,
so.
you've done my job for me.
Sorry.
Yes. No, let's talk about your newest piece where the pattern flows.
Yes.
And kind of what the idea was behind it.
So I really enjoy mandala art. So like on my arm, this is a mandala. I did not design this because I can't look down at my art all day and be like, where should I have done that differently? but I love living geometry, Mother Nature's blueprint, and I love incorporating that into my art. I think a lot of us artists, we want to pull nature into our art because we're always inspired by it, and it brings us back to our true self, and we're so disconnected from it. And so my artwork helps me to stay aligned with my true nature. And the mandala, when I'm burning in these patterns, it requires a lot of not just focus, but a lot of measuring and figuring it all out. And it's more than just an art project for me. It's a whole other experience.
It sounds a little bit meditative.
Right. Yes, there you go. Yes, it keeps me grounded.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. And actually, I did want you to help me with kind of the connection here between like mental health and your art. You do sound and breath healing. So talk to me about how those two things go together.
Yeah. So this might sound a little woo-woo shishi, but my art studio is also a sound studio. So I have sound bowls and my chimes and sage and incense and all of that. So I actually bless my artwork. And while I'm working on my artwork, I hum. So humming your voice is actually... I just
learned this earlier this week.
Yeah, so Laura and I, you're probably from Laura, and she and I both, we do the same sort of thing where, we're trying to get ourselves recalibrated to our own frequency, to our true frequency, and sound healing can help us with that. Art can help us with that. So I'm literally infusing my art with a vibratory state, a frequency that is closer to our natural frequency. But yours is your own, mine is my own, and humming is your way of tuning yourself up in the best, most powerful way you can. So when I hum and I'm doing my artwork, I'm actually connecting vibratory with the art that I'm creating. And then when people hopefully see it and enjoy it on their walls or in their office space, wherever, they can also help to align to their true nature.
Well, and it so helps to hear like the artist's process, to like get an idea of like the love, the effort that went into these pieces. And I think we do have a picture of where the pattern flows to show everybody at home. I mean, this is a gorgeous piece.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy to know that a sister piece is on its way.
There's a bigger one that's almost, I've added the color. If you go to my Instagram, you can see where I'm at on it. I'm about to be adding the metal leafing to it, and then more varnish, and then it's almost done. A little bit more resin and alcohol ink, but
good to know.
Yeah,
and these are pieces for the wall.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure, because I was thinking if they're dinner tables, it would be ruined. I
have done tables. I actually have done tables.
Have you?
Yeah. So if you go to my website, you can see the tables and stuff that I've done. But,
awesome.
But yeah.
With some really cool like reclaimed wood and
some of it reclaimed, some of it I go out and I purchase, some really beautiful pieces. But I started on reclaim.
I'm obsessed with this one, by the way.
That one, thank you.
Such a cool piece.
That's aspen that I salvaged in Durango, and then butterflies that I actually pulled from a framed collection that my mom had on my wall when I was a kid.
Whoa.
Yeah, so the butterflies and dragonflies in that piece are from a collection that my mom had just put on my wall as a kid.
I am not going to make any assumptions about your age, but decades. These are this.
Yeah.
This is decades worth of love and effort.
Yeah.
And I want to ask about where folks can learn more about your work, because actually you're in a lot of spots around town. So would you mention some of those for me?
Yeah. Right now you can find me at Artworks Gallery and Primal Arts Gallery and Art Us Co. and Art for the People, and my South Austin studio. So you can always make an appointment and come by and see what I'm working on and what's hanging up on my walls. There's always something. And the West Austin studio is coming up November 8th and 9th. And so that would be a good time to come to my studio, because I'm actually going to be pulling a bunch of art from a lot of different places and have it in one place.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, a good time to shop local artists, support local art, y'all. Okay, We appreciate your time today, Anne. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Guys, peruse Anne's work and learn more about what she offers online at chrysalisaustin.com.